Well, welcome to the South Field at Brigham Young University at the foothills of beautiful Wasatch Mountains on this blustery day. My name is Mark Ormsby, and alongside me is the man that will be here this week giving the commentary, Justin Nadol. Go for it, Justin. Any comments on the weather today, mate?
Well, you know, it's a little cloudy, a little breezy, but actually perfect for rugby.
Oh, it's beautiful, eh?
Yeah.
Especially for the rugby players.
Yep.
Not so much for the spectators, and certainly not so much for the commentary group over here. We're sitting right in a wind tunnel. However, we'd like to join you today with two great teams, Brigham Young University Cougars and the San Diego State Aztecs. We'll be kicking off here shortly, so hang about, as I know you will, because you're all fanatic rugby watchers. Catch you soon. That reminds me, I've got to do an assessment on him. Okay. Kyle. Wilson! Wilson! Kyle! He's a solid coach, isn't he?
Well, he's been battling this blood cancer for a year and seems to be feeling a little bit better now.
Yeah, it's always good to see Wayne. Oh, crikey.
Well, Mark, I don't know what time it is in Ireland right now, but that's where BYU's head coach, David Smith, is.
Is that right? David's over there in the Emerald Green Isle, is he?
Well, he's attending to some family matters and trying to take care of his father.
That's right.
So, Coach Smith, if you're listening, we love you. We wish you all the best, and our prayers are with you and your family.
Yeah, and that goes for me too, Davey and Granddad Smith. Our hearts go out to you this time. Well, we're about to kick off here shortly. I haven't had time to announce the team, but I will now. So just watch the game while I announce. Position for BYU, 1 is Spencer, 2 Simpson, 3 Payne, 4 Lane, 5 Mockey, 6 Merrill, 7 Wilcox, and 8 Sorensen. In the back line, you've got Matu at halfback, Perry at first 5'8", replacing our first 5'8" from last week, Whiting. Schofield's back on the wing at the left side, Laez at 12, Weber 13, Meyer 14, and coming up the back line was last week's winger, Shortland.
Well, it took you 30 seconds to get through the lineup and 30 seconds for BYU to score the first try.
Well, there you go. Had to give. Who was it, Justin?
I'll have to see the replay. I think it was a forward coming off of a ruck. But before that, it was good to see. Here we go.
Is that Johnny Lane?
Looks like Mockey.
Is it Mockey?
Yep.
That's Mockey, yeah.
It was nice to see Kevin Schofield back on the wing on this.
It is.
On this left side. He made a nice run and helped set up that try.
Yeah, it's a familiar face that I know, and it's good to see him. But I have to ask you, as part of the BYU group here, how did you get a lock to step up to take conversions?
Well, I'm not involved.
Oh, not
I'm
too
not
much?
involved this year. That's
Well, I
what,
thought
I'm not
maybe
going to take any blame or credit for
Well, I
this
thought maybe you'd have some word on that one.
Well, James is a good athlete, and he's a good player. He grew up in South Africa, so I'm sure he grew up doing everything. Last week, Calvin came in at the end and made a couple of conversions, but he was nursing a bad quad, so I think that's why Maki is up.
And there goes the kick from Maki, and he's pulled it to the left. So BYU goes up within the first minute of play, 5-0. The wind is swirling here, as was mentioned earlier by the announcer on the field. Our middleman today is Rick Goldhammer from Colorado referee group, a national referee. David Leckie is on one assistant referee position, and we've got Kyle Wilson on the other. Kickoff. BYU takes it in their own 22-meter. Now it's been stolen here.
Tackle. Stay.
Okay, Gilly gets it out to his first 5'8". This is going to go out to the sideline, it looks like. And I think that's Lupien. Stolen by BYU. Villafona was in there to support, but was stolen away by BYU. Referee's called a stoppage to the play. And we'll see what it was for, maybe. Obviously a lesser penalty because now there's a injury timeout. So the referee's called time off.
It was interesting on the restart when San Diego State kicked it. They kicked deep, which looked really similar to the kick that kind of sealed the fate for BYU
last week,
a couple weeks ago against St. Mary's. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
About a couple minutes to go, and St. Mary's kicked it deep, and it wasn't covered.
Yeah.
I don't know if San Diego State watched the film and made that decision, but it was in that same vicinity. Good news is BYU covered well and maintained possession.
They did. Well, we've got Sorensen with a bit of a nosebleed. He stuck his face where he shouldn't put it.
Yeah, he's right here in front of us, so maybe we'll get a first-hand report.
Yeah, he's right there. Right, Gilly about to put it in for San Diego State. Oh, it's a very quick tackle by BYU. It's out to Lupien. Gives it off to a forward player. No, it was a fly. That was Villafona, inside centre. Well, he loves to play like a forward, the inside back. Back out to number 2. That's Schmidt. We see Dunlap there in support. Back out to the backs. And this looks like there was a gap found. And this could be dangerous for BYU.
Yeah, he scored.
And that is a try to San Diego State. That's a well-worked try. Well-worked try.
You know, this is my first time seeing San Diego State play this season, and they look really good. The forwards run hard. They run straight. They came onto the ball pretty hard. The backs took the ball at pace, made a couple of nice passes, and the one kind of drew in a couple of BYU defenders before he offloaded. I mean, they look like a well-drilled, well-organized, well-coached team. Good for them.
I would back that all the way, Justin, what I just saw. They created space, didn't they?
Yeah.
Good teams create space. How they do it is they hold the ball just before they get hit, and then they unload it to a player coming through the gap. So we have Barkham stepping up here for the conversion for San Diego State. There it goes. And my goodness, that was a nice looking kick until about halfway through the flight.
You know, these guys are going to have to figure out how to play the wind all day. It looked like he was kicking into the wind, and the wind just kind of held it off to the right. Yeah, the wind is coming from the south to the north a little bit. Well, it changes.
It's swirling. But, yeah, you're right, Justin. The wind took that away from the right upright. BYU to kick off. Here goes Perry with a nice kick-off. A lot of height on that ball. Not controlled by the San Diego receiver. So BYU's on the front foot here. Nice inside pass from Simpson. But Wilcox coming in the support play there. Dropped the ball.
That's unlike Wilcox. He's got really good hands, and he's usually in the right spot, and he's coming on pretty strong. It was just a little unlucky that he dropped that one.
Well, I tell you what, it's nice to look at these two teams because there's quite the contrast, isn't there? Red and white. You see teams sometimes show up with the same colour, and that's just a nightmare. So I shouldn't jinx myself, but it should be able to separate the players today, Justin.
Yep.
Fine, guys.
Referee resets. Didn't like something in that first set.
And it looks like we have Matangi back at scrum half for BYU this week. Is that right?
It's Matua. Matangi Matua. So here we go.
Oh, Matua. I don't know why I said Matangi, sorry.
There he goes. Nice feed. Nice hook. Goes out to fly half Perry. Perry hits the blindside wing coming across Schofield, but Schofield wasn't able to bring that one in.
So Matua had been a little bit injured for a couple of weeks. He came in with about 15 or 20 minutes to go in last week's match, right? Started getting a little bit of his game experience back up, and he's got the start again today. Be fun to watch what he can do.
Yeah. So the play call, there was a well-designed play because they would have created overlap there. Had the winger taken that ball in on the fly. But now we have a San Diego State put in. Gilly sets up, looks to his back line. Oh, beautiful hook. And now we've got a forward running and connecting with the back line. Out we go. Lippian gets it. Number 11, Zinda. He drives forward, goes to ground, sets the ruck. Good play here by San Diego State, setting it in the middle of the field. And nice passing across the back line. And of course the back line has forwards in it. Still moving it. Schweitzer out.
Yeah, BYU's trying to come up a little bit quickly and take away some of that space, and it worked that time.
Look at the overlap that San Diego is creating.
They've got a lot of men out here.
They have created overlap on this one. BYU getting back in defence. Schweitzer didn't take that fairly cleanly, so there was a delay there. So change of options here. Going right. Ooh, Walls is in there, holding the ball up, sets it down for a ruck position. Schweitzer gets it out, but outside man does not receive it well. San Diego still got this, setting a ruck.
That looked like a knock-on. Maybe it went straight down or a little backwards. Possibly. Hard to say.
Well, that was kicked through by Gilly, and Schofield on BYU has received this and wants to get it away, get the movement out quickly from the broken down phase here. Okay, so Matua out to number 7, Wilcox. Wilcox to number 6, Merrill. But Matua again. Oh, might be a high tackle there.
I know the coaches love the way Payne runs.
So that's Mr. Payne. And he can be a pain with the opposition. There we go. Number 5 is Ed Bocky flying. Coming through, makes another 3 yards on the drive. And, ooh, that just digs you because it's a hard thing to watch when nice constructive play comes to an end in that fashion.
Matua seems to be doing a really good job getting to the breakdown and getting the ball out quickly. I think Ben Weber did that really well in the 2 weeks that he had the start while Matua was out. The interesting thing is now that Matua's back, Calvin is out at fly half. So they've moved Connor Perry from the fullback position up to fly half. So even though they got their starting scrum half back, they've lost their fly half, and so that 9-10 combination is still, you know, not exactly what they want it to be.
So how's Calvin, man?
He's just got a little strain in the quad,
is he?
I believe.
Okay, BYU has secured this. No, referee doesn't like what he saw there. Unbound position. Now, see that little sleight of hand above his shoulder, the referee? That tells people that there was an unbinding of the flankers and loose forwards, the 3 guys that are on the sides of the scrum. One of those guys came off prematurely, and the referee saw that before the ball came out. So he's pinged them. San Diego gets the penalty and is kicked down just outside their 10-meter line.
Looks like Sorensen's back in at number 8. So when you're bleeding like that, you get to come off and get 5 minutes or so to get your blood cleared up. So they clogged up his nose, shoved some stuff up there, and he's back on and ready for this line out.
San Diego State line out here. Oh, it goes mid, but it was challenged by BYU. Out she goes to the back line. I think we have a forward here that gets a pass away to...
Oh, he's towed it through.
Barkham, but it didn't happen. Now it's a tow through by BYU. Number 7, Wardak for San Diego. Looking for the pass. See how long he held on to that before he passed it away. Number 12, we've got Villafona. Keeps possession, sets it for a ruck. Out to Schweitzer. Gives it to his forward. Forward sets up a ruck here. Back out to his backs. And here we go. We've got a skip man in the back line. And it's gone out there. And there's an errant pass by number 4, being Walls. Walls, a forward in the position of lock, was in the back line, but gave an errant pass to his outside man.
They had an overlap on that one, too. San Diego State had 2 extra men on the outside, and they decided to kind of hold on to it or pass it back in. Man, they're well organized, aren't they? The Aztecs.
I've counted 3 times that they've created overlap.
Yeah.
And it's been beautiful to watch.
Yeah, and they've had the possession of the ball in the first 12 minutes of the game. They've had possession the majority of the time. I think BYU wants to play in San Diego State's half, which they have done primarily, but with San Diego State's possession.
Oh, it's a tight head. Tight head, meaning, here we go, I'll get to it in a second. Who's this?
Tua.
Tua. Layer. He gets it off, gets the pass off, albeit scrappy. Barkham's come up in the fullback. No, Shortler's come up in the fullback position. With the forwards here setting a ruck. 9.
That was nice. He came on
Matua
hard.
Gives it to Mocky.
Yep.
Mocky wants the try. Oh, well, he had hunger all over there.
If they'll show a replay of this, you'll see the difference between a forward taking the ball, standing still, and trying to make a line break versus a guy coming on hard.
That's right.
It's a world of difference. Every rugby player knows that.
Yeah, if you have forwards that are coming
Here he come.
into the play
a little late,
at
but
pace.
That was him.
If you have forwards coming in at pace, they'll get yardage all right.
So the interesting thing is all the coaches know that, all the players know that, but when you start to get tired, you forget it a little bit.
Well, the try scorer is now to set up to take an extra 2 points off San Diego State.
That's the second try of the day. He's got all the points.
Yeah.
Mucky. Big brother Luke down in Palo Alto is probably proud of him.
He is, wouldn't he? He'd be proud of his younger brother, all right.
Yeah.
Right in front, Mocky makes no doubt about the kick. BYU goes out to 12. We've played 13 minutes in the first half. Giving you an update on the weather today. Once again, it is a blustery day. It's in the 50s, probably mid-50s. So we've improved from last week, but not quite where we would all like it to be. Kickoff, San Diego State. Caught inside BYU's 22-metre. Wilcox decides to run it himself. And he's still going. Look at this by Wilcox. Oh!
Tosh.
A slight error in judgment there. Has handed over the ball to San Diego State. Schweitzer gives it to his forward. In fact, gives it to one of his solid forwards, the prop.
San Diego State's got the same overlap out on our side of the field to their right.
Gilly, he's out to his fly half. Now the Villafona is still going forward. Makes a 3-yard move on that from the tackle, but BYU's got him on his side of the scrum, or ruck. That's why it's slow coming out. Moving it out the back line positioning. And there's a solid drive by BYU forwards. In fact, they've taken it.
And here we go again. Here goes Mocky again.
Is this guy going in for a trifecta? Oh, my gosh. And there's the captain for BYU. Lane following in Mocky's footsteps going up the field.
This is going to be an all lock affair today, huh?
Oh, I tell you what, it's a pleasure to watch this sort of forward play.
Look at the big boys go.
There's the old Ormsby fend. There you go. Forward, up you go, Johnny. And over.
Yeah, that was well done. Mocky with
play.
the steal. Johnny Lane in support. First started on the inside, switched to the outside. They practice that every day at practice. You yell a little switch or a church or whatever your call is. And Bob's your uncle.
And see, that emphasises what you were just talking about, Justin. Forwards hitting it at pace.
Yep.
We saw Wilcox just bust outside his 22-metre. He wasn't happy just going 5 yards. He took off and made it to the halfway line. The architect of that try, Mocky, in for the kick. And,
Has he missed that one?
He's missed that, folks. There'll be some...
James.
There might be some 5-metre diving for that. We might let him off.
Well, he just ran 50 meters.
Yeah.
A little tired.
Yep.
It's like doing the biathlon. You do all the skiing, and then you got to control your breath and make the shot. Same thing.
San Diego's Brigham. He launches this even deeper. This is about midway between 22 and goal line. I think we've got Wilcox again, number 7. I might have to keep an eye on this young fella today. He's a loose forward, open side flanker. He gives it off to Mocky. Mocky's busting again. Oh, possession and turnovers is critical. And there's a bit of a boondoggle there. Knock on by BYU. San Diego will get possession even though they knocked it on the second time. So we'll go for the first infringement. Knock on by BYU.
It's going to be interesting to watch how fitness plays into this game. We're only 17 minutes in. I don't know if the elevation is going to cause any kind of ill effects for the Aztecs, or if the BYU guys have been, getting their fitness put together. But I always like to see how that affects everybody in the final 15 or 20.
I have to highlight the fact that I consider this referee a quality referee, because good referees, you hardly see him on the field. He's obviously fit, so he gets out of trouble. It's a strong hook by San Diego State. Gilly gets it out to Schweitzer. Schweitzer gets it out to Villafona.
Nice run.
Villafona steps past, inside step, looking for support. Oh, and he's outside centre. Lupian takes his eye off the ball on the reception of that pass. I tell you what, keep an eye on Villafona as well. He's a quality player. I can tell that by the way he sidesteps and by the way he draws in his opposite number and gets it off just in time.
Yeah. First he broke the line, right? Broke right between those two guys, and then held the remaining defender until he could pass off to his partner. But
Lupian dropped it.
Lupian dropped it. Yeah, unfortunate.
But good luck, Lupian. Hands up, mate.
Still a good team, right? That's what they're doing. They know how to attack. They know where to attack. They're attacking the right way in the right places.
Yep.
And once they clean up those little spills, that's a dangerous team right there.
Yep. Boys, first phase first. First objective first. Meaning catch the ball first before you think about running. Here we go. We've got old Sorensen off the back here. He makes about 5 yards on the set. We've set a ruck here. Now goes out to his forwards going right. Still inside BYU's 22-metre. Sorensen's marshalling his forward troops there. He gets it back to a clearance kick here. Perry decides to kick it after jinking his opposite number.
Hey, is it okay right now if I take a second to thank all these audio, visual, and production guys?
Please do.
I mean, the way these cameramen film the game, they get the angles, they know when to get the tight shots, the wide shots, the ones that are moving along the sidelines. I mean, it's just, we're really lucky to have this here at BYU. We're grateful to these guys.
Yep, Justin, you're dead right. We have a professional team here. Line out taken from the top. Matua gets it out. Laia gets it out. Still going wide. Schofield's trying to bust through there. Got maybe 3 yards. Back in for the forwards to consolidate the solid drive up the middle. Still coming, but now we've gone out wide. Laia, he gets it. Who's this? This is number Payne. This is Payne, number 3.
He goes hard.
Yeah, I wouldn't want him to run into me. He's a solid-looking young man, that guy. Now we're moving it left, out wide. Now we've got, there's a line break.
Connor Perry.
Perry's come through. Oh, my gosh, here we go again.
Wilcox is on the scene to help clean that up.
Support there, too. And.
Oh, they've held him up. Have they held him up? Oh, that was Schofield tried to bully his way over.
Schofield tried to bust through there to get there.
Good defense, though, by San Diego State, right, to hold him up at the very end there?
Referee's called a penalty here, so there was an infraction by San Diego State within the 5-metre line to their goal line. That's a tactic some teams use to slow up a certain 5-pointer. Oh, look at that. Kevin Schofield. He was going for it.
BYU just scored.
And while this has been going on, BYU's moved out to a try on the far left side. And have a guess who it is. Number 7. We've got Wilcox.
Yeah.
Well, I like the tempo that BYU is putting into the game here. San Diego State is showing, hey, we've got the goods.
Maybe support
But
the weight a
BYU
little
is
better.
certainly saying, yeah, we've got the goods, but we've got the tempo and we've got the enthusiasm.
Here comes the replay.
today.
So it was a quick tap on the penalty.
Yep.
And Tosh Wilcox looks like he just bowled his way over.
Yeah.
I tell you what, it's nice to see him get rewarded for all the hard work. He is, you know, he's breaking lines, he's in support, he's in the rucks, and then down there at the goal line, he gets a little reward, a little try. Good for Wilcox.
Very good, Wilcox. What's Mockey's height, Justin? How tall is this man?
6'5".
Yep.
He's a big boy.
And look at that! Well done. Right into the teeth of the wind, too, because the wind is coming from that direction. BYU goes up to 24, San Diego 5. BYU gets back in position very quickly here. They're prepared for a San Diego dropout. There's no slacking around out there, which is good to see. There's the kick. High into BYU's 22-metre. Taken by Kevin Schofield. Schofield wants to take these guys on. And he's calling his boys to come with him. There's the set ruck there. Taken out to Mockey. Mockey takes it on the fly too. He's driving. Look at the drive on this guy. It's 10 metres.
Well, and he's got people in support. That's what I like to see.
Down we go. Actually, that was Payne, was it? Number 4? That was Lane. That's the captain.
Johnny Lane, yeah. Little box kick.
Yeah, little box
no
kick
one's
by
home.
Matua. Nobody back there.
Yeah, he sniffed that out.
He's picked out the open space. And now there's some pressures really coming down on San Diego. But guess what?
Good counterattack.
Pressure's been taken away by Barkham. He's jinked and moved with his speed to get out of there. Here it comes. Out to Switzer.
They've got numbers. Looks like they're going to attack the middle.
Switzer back into his hooker, Schmidt. Gilly pulls it out of the ruck. Switzer gets out to his number 6, Roby. And they've knocked it forward.
You know, that was a nice looking offload. He was in the tackle and he kept his right arm free and was able to kind of swing that ball back, but unfortunately just knocked on. But all of the right ideas at most of the right times. Oh, there it was.
Yep. Good tackle by Schofield. Some of these boys may be selected for international positions shortly based on their skill. We don't know. But when they move up to that level, you won't see too many knock-ons. Here we go. Out to Perry. Perry out to Laye. Oh, nice inside move, but a fake. It was a fake inside draw, and Schofield's got it on the fly. He stays on his feet. No tackle there. Now he's on the ground. Still no tackle. And Matu has caught them all off guard here. He snuck through on the inside of the ruck. 13. There we go. Weber. Beautiful pass to number 6, Merrill. Perry, he gets it out. Way out. It's coming way out. Oh! Now we have a no-name, no-number jersey out there. Have we had a replacement?
No. He
lost a shirt.
No, he started that way. I think he's the other prop.
Oh, so is that
I think
Spencer?
He's number 1, yeah. Looks like Barkham just got nicked up a little bit out here.
On the fullback position?
Yeah, so they brought in a substitute, number 17, and it looks like it might just be a blood sub just for a minute.
For those of you that want to know what a blood sub is, referee will call it if there is any visibility of blood on a player or a shirt. They will go off for 15 minutes. They've got 15 minutes to get back on for the coaching group to decide whether or not he goes back on the field. Referee will allow that. That's actually in the rules.
You know, both of these teams are really lucky to have medical staff, you know, trainers and everybody else to take care of them. Back when we played, we took care we took care of each other, didn't we? Not very well.
I don't want to be blasphemous, but with the old saying, bring on the holy water.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great to see the quality of everything in the game of rugby these days.
Speaking of which, the Utah Warriors are playing next Friday night. 6 days from now, the inaugural game for the pro team here in Utah. It's going to be exciting to
Yeah,
watch.
don't miss that, folks. That's going to be a great rugby team in the state. They will give you some entertainment you won't believe. So here we go. San Diego's number 12. He's gone through over the phone. He's set the ruck. Number 8. Warzakowski, sorry. Gilly checks to see the wind strength by throwing a piece of grass in the air. I don't know how much that helps, but might have. So he takes the line out into BYU's territory, or side of the halfway line.
Got anything?
You know, based on the pace of the first 2 or 3 minutes of the game, I wouldn't have expected a 24-5 score at this point. I would have thought it would have been a little bit closer, and I think it would be if not for a couple of unlucky knock-ons by San Diego State.
Well, that was taken high on the line by San Diego State. We have number 11 Zinda coming in from the wing position. And there's a nice drive up the middle by number 3, Jorstad. Looks like BYU's penalised here for not releasing a player or rolling away. In fact, he's got him for the tackler not releasing the player. So
yeah, I think when he made the tackle, he was on the ground. When the ball was there, he grabbed the ball while he was laying on the ground. We learned early you had to get back on your feet to play the ball, right?
That's for sure.
Unless the ref's not looking.
Yeah, just remember, folks, you must play the game of rugby on your feet. There's no hanky-panky on the ground while you're laying down there. He was the tackler, saw the opportunity for the ball, didn't think of the first part to take care of get away from the tackled player. San Diego takes it. The line out. About the 22-metre line of BYU. Full line.
I want to see these centers for San Diego State take the ball again. Those are hard-running guys. And
and that looks like a scrappy line out. Number 12, Villafona. He's out to his outside centre, Lupian. Lupian sets it back for his halfback, Gilly. Gilly gives it to number 8, Warzakowski. Gilly back out to his first 5'8", Schweitzer. He's going to hook up with his blindside winger coming in from the opposite side.
That was great defense.
BYU's Wilcox is off again.
That was all set up by a big defensive push by Johnny Lane.
And there's Payne again, causing more pain for the opposition. Still going forward, BYU. They're determined to keep moving this ball. And
Johnny Lane again.
Nice phase here.
You know, the forwards are confident right now, aren't they? They've scored a lot, they've run a lot, they've broken the line a lot of times, and now they've got their tails up and they're just going for it.
Patience, that's what we're seeing here. They don't have to rush here.
Here comes the counter ruck. Yeah, they waited. See, they got the penalty.
That was patience on BYU's part. That's what you like to see with forwards.
Look at Wilcox burrowing in there again.
And that's so close to the line that it's not even close. It's on. BYU scores.
Payne.
I mean, once again, a prop dots down for a try.
Well, both locks have scored. Maki has 2. Johnny Lane has 1. Wilcox has 1. And now Payne has 1. So all 5 tries by 5 forwards.
The request is still out there with the viewing populace to find out how many tries are scored by props these days. Just for 2017. Go check that out. We heard from the ground announcer that's a beautiful day for rugby. You couldn't be more correct on that. It's cool for us on the sideline, but it's beautiful for players. Mocky, about 50 metres outside the right upright. He puts it up.
Huh.
And he hasn't.
Must have crossed the post.
He's pulled that across, has he?
Yep.
It may look simple to kick it, but when the wind's about like it is today, it's not, let me tell you.
And when you're not the primary kicker, and he probably doesn't take a lot of reps at practice. I mean, he probably gets a few in, but that's not a primary target of his. He's 2 for 5 so far on conversions.
Well, it looks like you and I can't go out there, Justin, to replace the kicker. Our days are over, right?
That's right.
That's a beautiful
I
kick
could never
to the
kick
sideline.
anyway.
Oh, let's have a look. That's the captain, Lane, taking that. And it's out to Wilcox at 7. He looks for a ruck. Matua.
Oh,
gets
the box
his kick
kick is
charged.
blocked.
Merrill takes the reception on the charge down. Looks like a San Diego player wants to go to ground to play this, but BYU's keeping possession. And Perry's saying, no way. Sets a nice ruck for BYU. Perry out to Laia. Laia out to Weber. And who's this? Is this Mr. Kevin Schofield?
That's Meyer, Coleman Meyer.
Oh, that's Meyer.
Yeah, he's a local product
Coleman
of
Meyer.
Olympus High School.
Solid-looking winger.
Yeah, he's got a strong base.
BYU still in position here, moving it outside. Oh, that's a nice flick on to the prop, Payne. Payne's going to go for it here. And Schofield in the left wing is now running with the ball, and he's staying on his feet.
Wow.
If you folk out there want to know what a winger needs to do, is do exactly what you just saw. Wingers must stay on their feet and keep the play going. And now we have Shortland coming in the act. Steps over a defender. Bit scrappy at the ruck, breakdown position there. Still not a ruck. Now comes out number 8.
Someone's down.
Sorensen.
Knock.
And it's a knock on by BYU. Now it's a knock on, so referee's playing advantage to San Diego State, I should say. Knock on by BYU, so it'll be a San Diego State scrum, and we have an injury.
Yeah,
it looks like Perry.
Looks
like Perry to me.
like Connor Perry, yeah. What you were saying about those wingers is true. Every time we'd get a young guy that had a lot of potential and was new, and we put him on the wing, first thing I would teach them was stay up and stay in.
Stay on your feet.
Job is stay up and stay in bounds.
Yep. You know, that's the modern game. Years ago it was stay up, and every now and then they'd run out, you know?
Yeah.
But now it's stay up and stay in.
Yeah,
Exactly
slide sideways,
said,
wait for support, slow down. There's no need to gain an extra 5 yards and then lose the ball.
That has sped up the game so much with that philosophy now.
Yep.
It's great to watch. And there we have it. Schofield just laying it back there for Matua. Of course, Shortland, he wants to go through that gap there. And, oh my gosh, this is a sad sight to see. This is a sad sight to see. You may not be seeing it on the monitor right now, but we have our fly half, BYU's fly half. Parry coming off. We will get an assessment from the trainers here shortly and keep you updated.
Justin Weaver, number 22. So they'll put him at center. Looks like they'll slide Weber into fly half. So Tua and Weaver in the centers.
Okay, so it comes out the far right. San Diego. They want to keep this possession here, because usually on a changeover there's a bit of disruption in a team, but not so much here. BYU still holding these guys back just outside the San Diego's 22-meter line. Quick movement away from that breakdown. San Diego State still moving. Still possession here. And they are driving, folks. That's determination.
Well, if you look out to the San Diego State's right, they've got 6 men to BYU's 3 men. They elected to go the other direction, though.
Gang tackle by BYU. And San Diego's turned it over.
Referee's going back to a previous penalty, it looks like. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like it was an offside call. Number 3.
Well, let's see if the dynamics changed at all, having Connor Perry out of the game, moving Weber. I can't tell, actually. They haven't had a set piece, but I think they'll put Weber in at the first receiver at the fly half and leave the then leave Weaver out in the centers.
Well, for now, what do we see in the BYU backline?
Oh no,
We
they're
actually
going to
see Matua.
Tua's they've moved Tua up to.
So Tua's at.
You know, and that might
Fly
just
half?
be defensively. We're going to have to wait and see when they have the ball in attack what they do. But anyway.
Yeah, good call. That might be the case.
Sometimes they make an adjustment depending on where their runners are and the defensive strength.
Now San Diego can make a beautiful movement there because they had a fake runner in the form of Lupien coming in close to the fly half. The scrappy midfield now. San Diego still determined to keep possession here. And it's come out. Number 8, Wozakowski. Feeds it back out to his back line. Forwards and backs together in the outside phase.
It's a strong.
That could have been a close one, that one.
That's a strong runner.
Could have been close, that one, because you're not allowed to take a play's feet away from him. Dunlap being lifted up there, having one leg on the ground. Moving back into the middle of the field. San Diego with an overlap out here. Once again, they have the overlap. Looking for a pass inside.
Oh, nice inside loop.
And look at this. This is Flink. Flink is still going. He's got the speed.
Nice run.
Oh, my gosh. That is what you call a side step.
Oh.
But he's short of the goal line.
He's right on the line.
What a side step by Flink. So the referees adjudged that he can't call a try. Not sure of what's happened there, so he's going to bring it out for an attacking scrum. San Diego State.
Well, on that replay, he was out wide on the wing, and he switched back inside and took that inside pass, and then made a couple of guys miss. I mean, that was a really good,
beautiful one.
Really good sequence by the outside backs there.
San Diego player, he was just short of pushing the ball down for a try, but at least his body was on the goal line and the ball was with him. It was a bit of a mess there in a form of a ruck. Referee saw that it wasn't coming out. So in that situation, the attacking team has the next phase of play, which is a scrum down 5 meters from the defending goal line.
Well, they need to make this count too, right? Aztecs are down in here close. They're 5 meters out. They're down by 24 points. There's 4 minutes left to go in the half. They really need to get a score here.
Yep, you're dead right, Justin.
Right, get the momentum going, get their confidence back up. I mean, they've had a lot of really good plays. Just a few knock-ons have kind of.
Oh yeah. I mean, you see the technicality in their play, eh?
Yeah, yeah. They're very well coached. They're skilled. Just a couple of mistakes.
It's a bit of a loose one behind the scrum.
Okay, they've maintained possession. Nope. Knock on. Unlucky again.
Called it forward.
Let me tell you what, from my unprofessional opinion, the difference in this game so far has been the defensive line speed for BYU. They are shooting up so fast that they're causing knock-ons, they're causing bad passes. You know, we used to call them the hospital pass, which you just saw. But the defensive line speed of BYU shooting up is changing this whole game right now.
Let me describe a hospital pass very quickly. It's a player who passes it to a player in a worse position. It's a player, hospital pass. There's a passer of the ball that passes it to a player in a worse position than himself or herself. BYU busts away there. It looks like, well, that was Sorensen busting out there, and BYU's got possession.
Here comes Maki
moving it
again.
up the field here. Maki, I'm sure he was a winger in his previous life. Matua gets a long pass out to Shortland. Shortland was playing, I do believe, left wing last weekend. Converted to the fullback position today. Matua feeds it to an inside player.
Yeah, that's Weber. He's playing fly half.
Zach Weber. See, that there is easy to adjudge. See, number 7, San Diego State. He was the tackler, pulled the player, which was Weber, to the ground and tried to steal the ball while they were down on the ground. Referee saw that and says, you can't do that. Penalty.
It's so natural, though. You know, you've tackled the man. He's laying there next to you. The ball's on the ground. Yeah. You want to grab it and go.
Yeah.
That's how we all feel.
Even the big players like the All Blacks, the South Africans, the English, US players, they get caught doing silly things like that.
James Maki is having a whale of a first half.
He's having a barnstormer, isn't he?
He's running all over the field.
Oh, my gosh.
He's making breaks. He's making passes. He's making kicks.
So for you national Selectors out there, keep an eye on this young man. There's at least 4 of them out there, at least. Laie, Weber, Zach Weber, he wants to go. Just short, maybe 6 inches from the goal line. Of course, he's on the ground, so he can't make another one because there's no momentum with his body.
Oh, he went right over the top.
Oh!
Schofield picked that thing, went right over the top.
Schofield picked it up and drove over the top. Oh, heads up play by Schofield.
Man, when he dotted down, his heels are over his heels are the highest thing of his body. So, we get a replay on that.
You know what that reminds me of? Old Walter Payton, Chicago Bears.
Yeah. Sweetness. Going over the top.
And here's Kevin Schofield in number 11.
He's digging it out right now.
He's digging it
burrowing.
out. And now, quality position and over.
Yeah, he saw some green grass. There you go. All right.
Well, I tell you what, that half-time whistle can't come sooner.
And the unlucky part is that San Diego State made a couple of really nice plays and got it down to BYU's goal line and then just got unlucky again with another knock-on where they really had a good opportunity to score. They could have kind of tightened it up, and then from there BYU just kind of poured it on a little bit.
Well, let's divide these 2 teams into 4.
Yeah.
The 2 parts to BYU are functioning well. Only 1 part in the San Diego State is functioning well. There's one other that's not. I'm not gonna pinpoint anybody. I don't do that. But they need both phases or parts of their team to be playing way up there with BYU, but they're not.
And one thing that they'll try and do at halftime is figure out how to slow down BYU's defensive push. I mean, well, I think if I was coaching them, I would figure out how to slow down that attack, the defensive attack. Missed that one too.
Mocky, go have a rest, Mr. Mocky. BYU at halftime, 34. San Diego State, 5. Good to have you back, brother.
Thanks. Good to be back.
Missed you last week, mate. This has been a fun game to watch, Justin.
It really has. And, you know, the 34-5 score isn't really indicative of how competitive the game has been, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't think, eh?
No, I would say if we added it up that San Diego State has had at least as much possession, time of possession, maybe more than BYU. BYU's been a little more opportunistic on some of the kind of fractured play, and they've certainly made a big difference with their defensive line.
Let's go over some strengths here. Like you mentioned a few minutes ago, BYU's defense has been solid today. 1 or 2 errors early in the game, but since then, they've shut down San Diego State's movement. Albeit for San Diego's ability with both talent in the back line and their plays that they call San Diego State's moved down. And for example, they moved down close to the goal line, almost scored a try. But apart from that, BYU has shut San Diego State down.
Yeah. One thing that I've found kind of interesting is that these 2 big props for San Diego State, I mean, those are big, strong kids. But they haven't used them a little bit more in line breaks, you know, just softening up the defense on the edge of the rucks and those kind of things.
Simmons and Raby.
Here are a few highlights from the first half.
That was Wilcox passing off to Merrill. And there's that Troy-hungry man, Mr. Mocky. And there he goes again. Yeah, and like I say, I love the fend. Oh, boy, do I love a fend.
The lock-to-lock try right there was really nice. They'll be telling that story for a while.
Well, folks, we've had an enjoyable half with you. We'll leave you for a few minutes, and look forward to you coming back with us. Well, hi folks, we're back here in the start of the second half between BYU's Cougars and San Diego State's Aztecs. We're glad to have you with us. And first half was a pretty solid defensive game for BYU, but it was both exciting to watch and fast. So let's see if this half does the same. San Diego State kicks off, comes down just inside BYU's 22-meter, and that's taken. You see who took that? Oh, it's taken by Sorensen. Sorensen took the kick. Now it looks like Kevin Schofield, the winger, has picked up a loose ball here. BYU's halfback Matua sends it out to his first runner. BYU still moving handily up the field. Still going. Now we're into San Diego State's half of the field. Oh, pass was beautiful. Reception wasn't there. Got to keep an eye on the ball, gentlemen. And San Diego State's Wardak, he's fought to get possession, and BYU's taken him out over the sideline.
So a couple of replacements. Looks like number 18 for BYU. His name is Bryce Tenney. So they brought him in on the wing, Bryce Tenney. And San Diego State's got a new winger, number 22 on the left wing. Their roster has him as Jake Danny. Is that correct? Okay.
Jake Danny.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And then 17 came on for San Diego State, and I'm not locating him right now on the field.
San Diego State's scrum, but BYU has just forced San Diego State off the ball. Still in there. That's a tidy to BYU, so Matua launches it high. And Laie goes up the middle to receive it, and he has done just that. BYU support players are there. Schofield, Kevin Schofield, sees an opening here and looks for a pass, but he does it himself. Nice try, Kevin Schofield.
Let's see, we were told that Schofield was off for the second half, so they must have taken Meyer off, right? No, Meyer's in too. Well, we'll have to figure that out. Sorry, guys.
They're keeping us on our toes, folks.
At any rate, it was a great take by Tua on that box kick, and then a great run by Kevin Schofield, take it in by himself.
Yep, and Kevin kept possession. He wasn't going to drop that ball. That's a quality of a good, strong winger, maintaining possession. And now we have Shortland taking the conversion for BYU. So Maki might be resting for the second half.
No, Maki, yeah, well, they're going to rest his leg anyway.
Yep, he's just going to score tries. But the kicking duties now fall on the fullback, Shortland. And he steps in.
Nailed
and
it.
I tell you what, oh my goodness, what a kick in these conditions. Mr. Shortland has slotted that conversion from almost the sideline in just horrendous conditions out here.
Okay, so number 18 for BYU, Bryce Tenney, did not go into the back line. He's in the forward pack. And I can't tell where they've got him playing yet.
San Diego kicks it deep. BYU's allowed this to bounce. It's rather uncharacteristic. And it's now moving out to the replacement player.
Bryce Tenney, that was a good run.
Bryce Tenney, number 18.
Yep.
Still got possession here, BYU. Now we go for the clearing kick.
It's coming right over our heads.
It's coming outside towards our tent here. So BYU clears themselves out of trouble there, facing an onslaught by San Diego State. But they've managed to get their field clear. And the line-out will be just inside BYU's half. Lions are taking a a little time getting in here. Number 3, Jorstad. And he launches it. He launches it to the midline. Uncontrolled by both teams. But Wilcox has got possession again. Matua out to Laia. Out to Schofield. Ooh. Long pass to Schofield. In fact, it bounced to get to him. Schofield's taking it up. Sets the ruck. Forwards want to go. Merrill. His time to move up. Weaver's in there to support. Spencer moves it out like a fly half, even though he's a prop. Wilcox in the action again. BYU forwards drive in there, clean it up. Spencer makes the fake pass, drives into the middle. Matua pulling it out of the ruck there. Layette puts it across, and this is a wonderful drive. It's going to come off.
He got it! He got it!
Kevin Schofield went up after it.
Was that Tua with the big cross kick?
Yeah.
Yeah, they call that a
kicks
wiper.
It across. I was wondering when that was going to happen. I was hoping that one day I would see that.
Hey, I'll tell you
what. It took place.
Well, they pulled a couple of those off and won in a national championship a few years back against Cal. This is the first time I've seen Tua do that. You know what he did well? He kicked into the wind. The wind was coming at him, and that ball held up in the wind and
stayed up there, right?
I guess they got a little bit lucky with the bounce, that it didn't bounce into San Diego State's hands. But well, good effort. They're having fun. They're having fun now.
Shortland just taking a little drink here before he attempts this conversion. Going back to that try, Justin, I saw Kevin go up, came up, he went up there, got to the highest point, just like an AFL player, Aussie rules guy. Goes up there, gets it at the highest point, comes down, but we're very, very fortunate he didn't get upended by the defender.
Well, that's his third try of the day, so that's a hat trick for Schofield. 2 for Maki, 3 for Schofield, and a couple for a few other players. One apiece.
Shortland, eyes up the posts, steps in. And pushes it to the right. Had plenty of distance, but it slides off to the right, past the right upright. So BYU moves out, 46, San Diego State 5.
I see the BYU I see the BYU coach is getting a couple of players loosened up and warmed up on the side. Looks like they're going to start trying to use some of their substitutes. Get some guys some good, valuable game experience now.
San Diego State's fly half kicks it high, right on the 22-meter.
You know, I don't know this Bryce Tenney kid.
Tenney.
He's playing, I think he's playing number 8, number 18 right there. I like the way he plays.
He does.
I mean, he plays low. He rucks hard. When he's got the ball in possession, he places it on the. I mean, does everything he's supposed to do.
Well, he certainly knows how to catch a ball.
Yeah, I like it. I don't even know who he is, but I like him.
San Diego's defense takes BYU out over the sideline on BYU's 10-meter line, or just outside BYU's 10-meter line.
Captain's coming off, huh? Johnny Lane's being replaced.
Jorstad tosses it in. Taken away by BYU. Matua sees an opening down the left side. Oh!
Stayed in. That's smart. He's still in.
He attempted to run down the sideline, but he's...
San Diego State's got a good counter right
going. Hit the sideline. Referee hasn't been
he's out waiting.
aware of that. Now is called back by the assistant referee.
So it looks like the replacement
Wilson
for BYU is number 20.
Pepe.
Braden
Pepe.
Okay.
So what position is that, Justin?
I think he went in for Johnny.
Johnny Lane?
Yeah, Johnny Lane at lock.
Oh, BYU's determination to maintain possession here shows up. Now the forward feeds that out. Sees his first runner, which is another forward. Matua back into Payne, or out to Payne. Payne's wrestle to the ground. Yes, that wrestle was a bit too naughty. Over the shoulders, referee caught it. Says, don't do that again. You're going to get hit for that. Penalty. Keep your tackle down, he says. Which takes BYU's line out inside San Diego State's 22-meter.
Well, let's see how Braden Pape does. He came in at he's wearing number 20. He came in at lock. He's replacement for Johnny Lane. Let's see how he does in this first line out. And Tenney's in there, so we got a couple of new guys in the line out.
Up we go. Wilcox, high. Takes
nice
possession
move.
well.
That's a nice
Brings it out. Weaver does a jink inside, keeps moving. Made another 5 meters after the first phase.
Quick recycle.
Back out to Tenney. Tenney's got a beautiful pass. Not only can he catch, but he can pass. And that is a try.
He's only on for a minute.
Tenney can pass a ball as well as catch.
Yeah, I like it.
And in that case, feeds it out wide to his, I don't know if it was the winger.
That's his replacement buddy, Pape.
Pape.
Number 20.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he's in for Johnny Lane. Braden Pape.
Pape, 20, number 20.
Hey, you see a couple of the subs start to go on. They're used to playing with each other on the B side, and then they're looking for each other, and they, you know.
Well, that's what you want, eh?
Mates, yeah, here we go.
You want your bench to come on and just pick it up where the boys left off, and that's a beautiful try by Pape.
Let me tell you what you're going to see out of the San Diego State team for the next few minutes. They are not going to back down at all. They're probably going to pick up their pace. They're going to pick up their intensity. They'll never stop and they'll never quit. And they're going to score a few tries here in the second half because that's what they're made of. You know, they're just going to pick it up and go hard here.
You know, teams when they go out on the field, if they are confronted with windy conditions, I always enjoyed running into the wind because I knew that a pass would be, if it was passed correctly and I was running in my correct lane, I would be receiving the pass because the wind would be bringing it to me. That's if the passer throws it in front of the pass, the runner. And that's a really good attempt by Sorensen. I should say Shortland for that kick. Once again, though, it goes to the right of the uprights.
Hey, I just got a text from our fearless leader, Davey Smith. He's over in Ireland. Hope you're doing well, Dave, and I hope you're enjoying the broadcast. I'll bet it's warmer here than it is in Ireland. In Londonderry. I'm going to sing "Oh Danny Boy" in a minute.
Gilly launches it, comes down inside BYU's 22. Tenney takes possession again. He's in the action right at every phase, seems like.
Now here comes Pape again. Look at this kid.
They're both
he just keeps his feet going, keeps his shoulders low.
BYU's replacements want to get in this game.
Another box kick.
There's Matua's kick. Chips it up there. Let's see if the winger will catch it, and he does. Now it comes way out to San Diego State's Danny. Jake Danny.
Yeah, smart play by this San Diego State winger. He stepped back inside and kept the ball alive. That's good.
San Diego State's winger keeps possession. And now we've got number 7, Wardick. He drives up close to San Diego's 50.
Here they come. They're going to come hard.
Out she goes, the fly half, Switzer. And it goes in for the ruck. But we've got BYU players leaving their feet.
What time is it in Ireland? 9 o'clock?
Oh, it must be a 7-8 hour split from here.
Yeah.
So referee's called a leaving the feet by a BYU player and has penalised them. Gilly kicks to the touchline, sets up his line out for his forwards. BYU's 10-metre.
If it is 9 o'clock, this is the latest Smith has ever been awake in the last 22 years. Love you, Davey.
We miss you,
and
man.
Verla.
All the best for your family, boy. Here we go. Of course, Davey's not a boy; he's a man. But that's a term of endearment we use back in New Zealand.
Oh, Tua.
And,
knock on. Well, this is going to be a good opportunity for San Diego State to take advantage, right? They're going to be 25, 26 meters out, a little center scrum, and it's going to be time to attack here.
Can I use that phase of play to support what I've just mentioned a minute ago?
Yeah.
The wind is behind their back. The halfback passed it to Tua, but the ball didn't get to him because it was a slight movement forward of the ball.
Yeah.
And that's how players will miss the timing of the pass and receive it with the wind behind them. So Gilly feeds it in. This hook didn't come as cleanly as they probably would have liked. And that's number 8.
Oh,
Wozakowski.
He's going to score this.
Wozakowski.
He's going to score.
Wozakowski.
Nice run.
Oh, try.
Well done, well done.
Are you a crystal ball gazer,
Hey.
Justin Nadal?
Listen, I've seen a game or two. And I've played against San Diego State a lot of times as a player, and I coached against them a lot of times as a coach, and I'm telling you what, they never stop, and they don't back down, and they're tough kids.
Yeah, there you go.
They're obviously well coached.
There you go. Listen, folks, listen to Justin Nadal when he's talking here.
Good for number 8.
He knows what he's talking about. And he called it exactly this. Wozakowski.
Gave the Ormsby fend.
You gave the Ormsby fend, and away you go. And there's your father. How's your mother? Bingo! Try time for San Diego State. They finally get into the double-digit region. Now, Gilly is their kicker for the day. Scrum half for San Diego State. Just to the right of the uprights. Up,
Hit the
I thought
crossbar.
up she goes, but it wasn't up she goes. It was sort of a knuckleball at the crossbar.
Yeah, a little bit of a miss kick. Looks like he hit the middle of the ball. That's all right. He's been replaced. It looks like he's coming off.
Oh, don't say that. Kick cost him.
Well, I think they had predetermined that.
No.
He's a nifty little player, though, isn't he?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
he was good at the breakdown, got the ball
Every
out,
breakdown.
had a nice tight pass. Zach Weber is off for BYU, and the scrum half is off for San Diego State. And once I can figure out who went on for who, I'll let you know.
Well, hard luck, Gilly. Kick off by BYU. And not too high, just by the 22-meter of San Diego State's. San Diego gets it from the ruck. And here we are running forwards, just on the outside of the scrums, or rucks, I should say.
They're going to attack the replacement player for BYU.
Here we go. We got Villafona, the replacement scrum half. In there you go. We got number 3, Jorstad, driving through. And I'll get the name
21.
Ramirez. Ramirez is the replacement scrum half for San Diego State.
Yep.
BYU's defense comes again, forcing San Diego State back into the 22-meter. And this looks like it may remain a maul. Did they get it down?
Yeah, they've taken it down. Advantage to BYU.
Referee calls that ending as a maul. So however a referee adjudicates how that finishes will determine what goes on. And now, because with a maul it's a use it or lose it, San Diego State loses it and BYU's put in at the scrum.
Hey, you want to see a guy that's as fast as me and you, Mark?
What's that, mate?
Number 25, the new BYU winger right here on the right side. Yeah, he's fast.
He's good, eh?
Yeah, that's Sam Roberts. He was on the track team at BYU and switched over to rugby.
So I take it he'd run faster than 10.65?
I'm not sure what his times are. I think he was a 10.64, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, he's got me, mate. Here we go. Tua, out. Weaver. Weaves and darts through there. Sets the ruck. Tua. In for 20. That was Pape. Layer. Mocky.
Oh,
Schofield's in for another try.
Oh, he had to get forward, didn't he?
My goodness.
Let me tell you what's going on here. Kevin Schofield has been suspended for the past couple of games due to a little problem that occurred a few weeks ago. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, actually. It's been a while, but 2 games worth. So he's making up for it.
He's making up for it.
4 tries on the day. Oh, hey, let me tell you, the most exciting thing you're going to see so far is number 19, Forster, coming on. He's been the starting hooker here for multiple years. Alex Forster has been dealing with a couple of minor health injuries, and they've been working on getting him healthy. I know the trainers have spent a lot of time with him. He's been doing his very best. And he told me today he might get on for the final 20 minutes. So there he comes. He's wearing number 19. You'll see him at hooker. Really excited for him to make to get on the field. It's been a couple of months for him.
There's no relation. Actually, the way he spells his name is a bit different than the Forster we had from.
Yeah, it's with a V, Forster, but it's pronounced
Foster.
Well, of course, Foster. I can't pronounce much today, but.
So here we got Shortland.
He's graduating this April in I believe it's actuarial science.
Who's that?
Alex Forster.
Oh, okay.
He's got a job next
Shortland's
fall.
kick. Shortland's kick is over. Oh, my golly. I was wondering, and yes.
Hey,
Nice stroke.
sit down, Calvin. We've got a new kicker now.
Calvin Whiting, BYU's kicker, has just been told to get used to the bench. Somehow I don't think that'll happen.
Yeah, Alex Vorster is a kid from, well, a man from South Africa, and this is his 4th season playing for BYU and graduating with a degree and has got his job all lined up, and it's a great story for him. Really dedicated, hard-working guy.
Shortland has taken that kickoff, moved up outside the 22. Scrum half. Matua inside. Maki. Matua wants to test the box there.
Well, he had such good luck on that first box kick. He's tried another couple. That was a little low and a little flat, which gives them time to attack.
Yeah, this could be trouble. This could be trouble.
Needs to put that a little higher.
This is still in possession for San Diego State.
Coleman Meyer fighting with their reserve winger for the ball. Got it down.
Yeah, Danny, he wasn't going to let that go for San Diego State. And they're in BYU's territory, Justin. Martinez. Let's see. Who was it? Ramirez, sorry.
So
replacement player.
Unfortunately for San Diego State, they're going a little bit across the field right now. They're doing a little bit of left and right and not as much straight up. You know, earlier in the game, they were crashing the line really hard and, you know, kind of up the guts. And it looks like recently here they've been just a little bit left and right. Maybe I'm being unfair, but it looks that way a little bit.
Weaver.
Oh.
Weaver breaks the line. Looks for support. Gets it off.
What a pass.
And look who's got it. Wilcox. Let's see if he can outrun the winger.
Oh,
and he ducks down under the posts.
Wow.
Wilcox.
Justin Weaver set that up with a great line break, and he was so patient in the offload, right? I mean, if we can get the replay, he went right at the defender and held and held and held, and then made the offload.
I'll tell you something. Justin Weaver, he's a great player, boy, for a midfield player.
No, He's
got the goods for the midfield back line.
That was nice. He committed to the defender and took the tackle and made the offload.
There you go.
That looks like rugby. Good job, guys.
Wilcox gets in for his second try. Third try? Second try. I'm not sure.
Second try of the day.
Can't count.
Shortland can make this kick, I imagine. He's right between the posts.
Ooh.
He's had a little drink, got his tea, ready to go.
Running. Good stuff.
Nalu. The boys call him Nalu.
Nalu. Nalu Shortland for the attempted conversion right in front. And he makes no mistake.
That's going to hit my car, so.
Justin's car just got dented.
Oh, someone's did.
So, BYU continuing their scoring ways, takes their score to 65, San Diego State 10. Switzer looks to the right, sees what his forwards are ready, when his forwards are ready.
You can see him giving the signal to his forwards. He gave the number 2. I'm not sure if that looks like
Up
the
she
long
goes.
kick then.
Well, this is a deep kick. This usually wants the forwards to hit them hard.
That's a Tenney kid, isn't it? 18? Yeah.
Yep. I think that's Spencer. Matua. Moki. Still with the forwards, driving 15 metres in. And that's Pape.
Yeah, the new guys are running hard, aren't they?
Yep.
Trying to make a name for themselves.
Moki's now the fly half. A Weaver. Beautiful tight spiral.
Here comes the speed. Let's see it.
And let's see it.
Let's see it. See if it works.
Let's
Whoa.
see it. Oh! Referee calls a stoppage here. He's going to have a little chat here.
I'm not sure if that was. I mean, it looked like the BYU guy kind of jumped into the tackle,
yeah, he did.
right? I mean, it's hard to keep the player on the ground if he jumps into you.
Yeah, you're going to catch a defender off guard there.
The defender was low. That was not any kind of an intentional problem, was it?
No, but the referee's going to ask his assistant referee on the sideline, whether or not that was an illegal tackle with a player in the air.
No, I did not.
But of course, a defender, he's always going to be caught off guard there, because anyone attacking at speed like we just saw, if he leaves his feet and goes up, and yet the defender's in the motion for a tackle, he's going to be caught off guard.
Well, the defender started really low. I mean, that's a good defensive position to be in, right? Knees are bent, his butt's low, and he tackled him in the thigh, or where you're supposed to tackle him.
Yep. It's just a penalty.
Just a penalty.
It's just a penalty.
Shouldn't be anything more than that.
It's just a penalty. So we're not going to get a yellow card here if it's a bad one.
No, not deserved.
Thank goodness. So well reffed. Well reffed, Rick.
That's a good play by the San Diego State kid. I mean, I wouldn't have done anything different, right?
Yep.
You tackle him
You,
low.
me, everyone.
Yeah.
So that's just a surprise situation there. Well reffed.
Yeah, now they're telling the BYU winger to not jump over, so they've asked both of them to.
Once again, I have to commend the referee there. It's just perfect bloody call there. So here we go.
Yeah, the referee hasn't taken over. Is not making it about himself. He's done a great job.
Here we go. BYU takes it in a line out, forms a maul, drives through with the maul. San Diego State's managed to drop them to the ground, BYU to the ground. And now we've got Merrill. Merrill takes the first pass from the halfback position. Looks like he's dropped it, though.
Yeah, lost it
and
forward.
That's exactly what's happened.
Here's your mark.
You know, you get down here close, they're 5, 6, 7 meters out, you get a little anxious, don't you? And patience is hard to come by in this territory. You've just got to take it easy and be very sure about the passes and about the tackles.
Yeah. Well, you know, if he had pulled it off and the guy hadn't touched him in the air and he'd stayed on his feet and gone, everybody would be singing praises for his try, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Well, this is his first year. He's a pretty new player, so.
He does look like he's got some wheels, though. Here we go. San Diego State secures a hook in their scrum. Takes it to the left side on the blind side of the, they call it the blind side, it's the shorter side. And now they're going for a clearing kick.
Oh,
and BYU's charged this down. That's that man, Wilcox again. Did you guys have him on a sprint session this week, Justin?
I don't know what they've done.
Because I tell you what, he's covering that first 10 meters in rapid fire.
Tosh is a really good player. He's super mobile. He's smart. He knows where he's supposed to be, right?
Well, that's exactly what you want on a flanker.
Yeah, and you know, for the rest of the guys on the field, they can count on him.
Gosh.
They know he's going to be where he ought to be, and
well,
he's
Mr.
reliable.
Seven Wilcox, keep the work going.
Yeah.
BYU players, all you guys, San Diego is coming back at BYU here. They've lost it forward. So
they kept it in.
BYU's kept possession. Mockey's got it from the replacement player. Voster kept it in for him. And now we've got number 17.
Looks like Ben Weber's playing scrum half, number 24. Yeah, Ben.
Nonu's on. Nonu's on for BYU. Oh, and the pass wasn't quite as crisp. But Shortland
knocked on both ways.
Has lost it forward on the tackle.
Going to play the first one, won't he?
So the referee's coming back over here in the middle, close to the middle. He's taking the first knock on by San Diego State. So BYU, even though they've knocked it on at the end of the phase there, they get to put the ball in the ruck, scrum.
So if I'm coaching BYU, I'm asking my guys in the final 10 or 12 minutes to stick with our pattern, right? Just because we're ahead by a few and there's some replacements in, we still have to stick to our pattern. We've got to do what we do what we've drilled, become better at the things that we need to learn how to do. And if I'm San Diego State, I'm saying stick to our pattern. Maybe you need to be a little more risky because it'd be nice to put some points on the board. You know, continue to attack. And I would, if I was San Diego State, I'd take the space away from BYU, my defensive line. I'd start rushing up the way BYU has.
For those of you that are watching this game, I have to support Justin on what he just said. Quality teams have a pattern. They have a strategy. They have tactics, and they apply those tactics. And good teams will stick with those tactics. If they're not working, they can adjust to the secondary tactic. But here we go, BYU still in movement here. And there's that flyer. There's that flyer.
Got around the corner.
Oh, my gosh. Yes, Justin, he might have just pepped me in there. Try time.
Good for him.
He's got some wheels, that young boy.
You know, the other thing they need to teach him is a little inside out, right? And which is what he did. Well, he didn't give an inside out. He just turned the corner. But when he's coming down when he's coming down the side, if he gives them an inside step and then goes around them on the outside, that's where his speed comes in.
Oh, my goodness.
That's Sam Roberts.
Sam Roberts.
Yep.
Well, BYU dots down in the far right corner, and Sam Roberts was about, 4 inches from the sideline there. Kept his feet in bound and over in the corner.
Yeah, so when we're talking about patterns, a team, I can just speak for BYU because that's where I was coaching for a while, will kind of have a general pattern of play that they like to use for the year. And in certain situations, you want to be able to go back to a certain thing that you do, whether it's 2 hits up by the forwards and then out wide, whatever it's going to be. So you have a general pattern of play that you try and institute, and then you'll modify that week to week based on your opponent. So you study some San Diego State film, and you change your pattern up a little bit. Both the A team and the B team should know that pattern. It turns out that some of the B guys may not get all the reps. Oh, he made this kick.
Are you kidding me?
Oh!
Oh my gosh! Probably the toughest kick for him all day, and he puts it over.
So it's fun to see when the B players get on the field with the A guys that they can keep the pattern going and keep the continuity, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, Nalu Shortland, he'll forget all the other ones he's probably missed, and remember that one for the day, at least for the day.
He's 4 for 6 in the second half.
BYU out to 72, San Diego State 10.
Oh, nice restart.
Looks like it's a short kick. BYU can run this. Referee doesn't have to stop it because BYU caught it, and it's their choice whether they want to go back to a scrum in the midfield. BYU keeps running here. They want to keep going. Back into San Diego State's half of the field. Layer, Jenks wants to go forward, clean it up. He sees San Diego's backline sliding sideways.
Held on, huh?
Yeah.
Rolled?
And,
what did he do?
Let's see. Yeah, held on. Apparently a defender for San Diego State got his hands on the ball while Layer was on the ground. Attempted to lift it, but BYU players coming in and Layer holding on.
What's the referee saying?
Referee may, it's obviously a penalty here, but he's talking to
You're my leader of men out here now, yeah? Cool.
Tua.
Cheers.
Well, Tua said something, and the referee asked him not to talk to the opposing players, and that's the right thing to say to Tua.
Well, I got to tell you, mate, Rick Goldhammer, referee for today, he's welcome back here anytime. That's a quality game today. Not that I could stop any referee. That's all judged by the U.S. National Referee Union. So they've sent us a really good referee today, and we thank you for that.
I'd like to see San Diego State get this ball into the midfield. I want to see their centers do work again. These kids, Lupian and Villafana, I like the way these guys play, and with the ball in hand, they can be dangerous. If they can just get it out. Here it comes.
Here it comes. It's gone straight to ground, so referee doesn't say it's gone forward. So San Diego State keeps possession here. Ramirez, nice tight pass to his outside back. Number 13, Lupian.
That's a penalty. He may not even know that, Sam. Intentionally knocked that down.
Yep.
He probably just thinks it's okay to swat it.
Okay, Lupian went to pass it, but a BYU player deliberately knocked it to the ground without attempting to actually take possession of it, and that's why they got penalised. So if you're going up against an attacking player and he goes to pass it and he gets the pass off and you knock it to the ground, you're going to get penalised for that.
Who's your mark, big man?
So, San Diego State, well inside BYU's 22-metre. An attacking structure here. In fact, they've got 9 players in the back line. 9. So that's 2 extra. Setting a ruck here midfield. Ideal position for any team. Oh, here we go. Jorstad takes it. Still in possession.
Oh, they're close.
Flicks it off the ground.
They're close. They need to be patient
Number
here.
5, he goes to put it down, but Simmons puts it down and knocks it as he attempts to do so.
That's happened a few times today where they get that close and have an unfortunate knock-on.
So number 5 for San Diego, Simmons or Simons, puts it to the ground, but doesn't press it. It's lost forward as he attempts to do so. He's not too happy about that. He could kick himself for that, I'm sure. So close. BYU gets the ball.
Now BYU's got a set pattern that they do when they've got a defensive scrum on the 5, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what they changed it to, but so they've got a backup Scrum half in now, backup fly half in. The back row's all new. Well, Maki's in there. So it's going to be interesting to see if these younger guys can execute the game plan in a dangerous situation like this, in the red zone they call it.
So Weber now playing the scrum half position for BYU. He's already called the play before they even engage. Now he puts it in. Nice clean placement. Nice clean, well, I wouldn't say clean hook. It's still stuck in the middle there. Number 18, goodness sake, here we go again. Tenny, that man Tenny. Here we go, another replacement player.
That's nice.
17, that's Nonu.
So they went 8-man pick, and then they went...
Mocking, underhand pass out right. Merrill. Okay, San Diego State apparently at that first ruck where the ball went to ground and there was a ruck there. There was some players standing up in front of the last man on their team. And Tua.
Oh, wow.
Laye.
Good kick.
Sends it down. Assistant referee David Leckie calls the line out on San Diego State's 10-minute area.
Who's your line, guys?
Not the spacing in the line out that the assistant referee required, but they're playing on here for some reason. Anyway, no, referee's going to come back here because he saw the assistant referee David Leckie calling space. They weren't giving space on the line. Referee, once again, good referee.
We're play the knock.
Coming across.
Sorry, guys. And a knock here in the front. Actually,
it's going to come back out.
He's going to move the scrum a little bit more to the middle of the field instead of playing it right in the channel there.
Yep.
Knew something happened there. I couldn't tell.
So we have a scrum at the 15-meter line from the sideline.
Couldn't tell.
On the 10-meter line.
Radius. Crouch.
Ramirez
Bind.
getting ready to put the ball in here. Once again, these scrum halves have already told the forwards what they want. What type of channel they want their ball to come down.
Oh,
Ramirez took his eye off the ball and has knocked us on. We see that Sam Roberts and Ben Weber came across the gang tackle him on the blind side of that phase.
So I'm sure the BYU backs have got a nice move called. Ben Weber's going to get this off the back of the scrum out to the backs as quick as he can.
Weber set to put it in.
They got the weak wing involved too.
Our tight head replacement for BYU is Felipe Fafita. We'll have to see a replay on that one.
Well, it was the ball. They both went for the ball. It was a kind of a high looping pass. Well, we'll have to see.
So hold your breath, folks. This is not what you want to see.
Got it.
Hold your breath, folks.
I think it's Lupien.
Our
trainers are out there.
Our concerns go out. That's a head-to-head.
They were both going for the ball.
That was a head-to-head hit there. This, by the way, doesn't really happen that often because players don't usually put their heads into the contact area in a game of rugby. But this was a pure freak situation where both players had their eyes on the ball, took their eyes off their opposition, and their heads collided. So, as is customary in a game of rugby, we see the boys come together with all concern for the players.
Yeah, that was a missed pass. So he missed the inside center. In fact, he was going all the way out to the fullback, and they read that. Lupien read that and tried to jump the pass, and they both got there at the same time.
Even though BYU players are ready to play, there's concern out there, legitimate concern out there for their player.
The guy with the possible concussion, the
really
coming
concerned.
back to him, player safety.
So number 13, Lupien, we wish you all the best on that.
Everybody get off, guys. Hold on.
Have the trainers look after him.
Yeah.
Certainly a nosebleed.
Right here?
Hit to the nose.
Right. Support your mouth.
And All the best, mate. And I'm sure
easy
San
for me
Diego
to
State's trainers, top notch.
Yeah, they're going to bring him over to
take
the
care of him.
BYU side, it looks like, and get some of the
Medical
they've
equipment.
got BYU's got some doctors along with the trainers.
Yep.
Biohazard.
With BYU's
know where-
assistance,
You know where he's been?
we'll take care of Lupian. Right, we'll start this phase with a scrum. San Diego State. Ramirez to put in.
Fine.
Midway between San Diego State's 10-meter and the halfway line. Quick feed, center feed.
8-9 wing.
I should say center hook.
Good move.
Down channel B.
I like that move.
And here we go. Out to the wing, number 20. That's, who is number 20? I'm going to call his name right. Vasa.
Well, they pulled him out, but the referee had a penalty on, so they took a quick tap, and now they're moving it to the other side of the field. Oh, they've got a big overlap.
Villafona out to number 11, Zinda.
They've got to be able to hang on to it now. Hold on, San Diego
Going
State.
into a ruck position. Phase, 21, Ramirez. Out to Schweitzer. Number 7.
Good.
Wardak drives through.
Good line break.
Makes 4 meters on that, but it looks like BYU has stripped the ball.
Oh, yeah, they have.
And here's the counter for BYU. There is certainly an overlap.
Oh, look at Maki.
Maki's going to try to ensure that there's still an overlap, but that didn't happen. San Diego State was up to the task, shut down that overlap situation, and now San Diego can counter. 7, Warwick making hard ground forward. So we have a bit of to and fro here with losing possession.
Give him some room, guys.
Yeah, they've got a guy down. Trainers are coming on again.
Is this, I think this may be Warwick.
Number 7?
Yes.
Yeah. Can't tell what happened.
It might be a leg injury there. It looked like he got it turned.
Mm.
Yeah, he got hung on.
Well,
his right foot.
There's only about a minute left.
Yeah.
Depending on what the referee's got.
Mm. But now we've got a stoppage.
Well, let's see. From BYU's perspective, they have been able to put up 72 points. It looks like they've gotten on every sub that they have, right? I mean, I believe all of the replacements have come on. And so you can defend your home field. You can put up 70 points. You play all of your players. And I think for the most part, they've stayed fairly healthy. So, I mean, you know, pretty good day all in all.
Mm. And just by way of rules on that,
Yes, it is.
I don't know you have an open situation, but usually the requirement is that you cannot replace more than 7 players in a game. And
they'll dress an additional 8, right? They'll dress 23.
They'll dress 23.
And play 22.
22.
Cut!
BYU scrum halfway with about 30 seconds to go.
Schofield has stayed on the whole game. That's
maybe
interesting to me. Maybe to get back into some game shape, right, leading into the
Schofield's
playoffs.
come in from the left wing.
Yeah, he is on
he's
the
come
blind
across
wing.
the joint, and now he's the second player in the back line. He's created the overlap. Couldn't get the pass off. He couldn't get the pass off. He'll be disappointed with that because the try was beckoning. San Diego's taken possession, moving it out. BYU defense just flying in there, taking any gap possible.
That's
and referee Rick Goldhammer calls it full time. We congratulate both teams. A hard-fought match. Some heavy hitting once again that you see in rugby. Without pads, by the way, folks.
That's a nice shot of the crowd. Maybe we ought to thank the crowd for showing up.
Congratulate the crowd,
Yeah,
yes.
they showed up and they cheered, and it was a lot of fun for them. And
How many up here you think today?
That's not a big crowd, but that's is that 1,000?
It's probably close to that.
800, yeah, 800 to 1,000.
Easy.
Not big.
We thank them for it.
San Diego State is a well-coached team. They're well-organized. They looked great, and I'm sure the BYU coaches are really glad to have them come up here and give them a good game. Congratulations to them.
We'd like to thank the communication staff, telecommunications staff, the programming folk, all the folk on the sideline here that run and gather information for us today. We'd like to thank BYU most for this beautiful facility. It's one of the best I've ever seen. at a college level.
Yeah,
for
the
rugby.
administration here treats the rugby team really well, and I know that the boys try and keep their nose clean and handle their business the way they're supposed to on the field and off the field, and the rewards are beautiful fields and facilities.
We thank BYU for that.
Yep. So we'll hold our breath and wait and see what happens with the playoff seeding and the scheduling. I think the potential is to have a home playoff game here on this field in a few weeks. So hopefully, if that happens and it comes about, we'll be here with you again.
Yeah, very good. So once again, Justin and I would like to shout out to the boys that have played today, both BYU and the San Diego State players. It's been an enjoyable match to watch, enjoyable match to commentate. We also like to reach out far across the Atlantic to BYU's head coach, David Smith, and his family. Our hearts are with them at this time, with Dad, David's grandfather. So, signing off today, Justin Nadol and myself, Mark Ormsby. We hope you've enjoyed this day with us, and we hope to see you again sometime. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.